Hello, and welcome to another episode of Talking with Tanya. In this episode, I want to talk about giving back to the community. But first of all, just a quick life update, right? So I don't know if some of you might know that I got a new job about like 2 weeks ago. And guess what? I already fell. Oh gosh. It's not broken, thankfully. It's just a sprained wrist. I think the pressures was just getting to me just a little bit there, and it's just a very fast-paced environment. I feel like they just want you to pick it up quickly. I'm also learning to emotionally detach from feedback because I'm just a little bit of a sensitive person. So I think not only my hard on myself, but like I'm more so when I get critiqued. I'm just like, oh. So yeah, but just try my best. I've also found it a bit challenging adjusting myself to this new job and balancing it with my podcasting. Like I try to post every Friday, but unfortunately this one is going to be a little bit later than I anticipated. And I'm also tired. I've been waking up early, so I'm just into the sleep schedule as well. So I never want to rush an episode just to post something. I want each one to feel meaningful and worth your time. So if episodes come a little slower, just know it's because I'm taking my time to put real care and intention into what I share. If you've been enjoying the podcast and want to support its growth, I'll be adding a donation link in the description. Any support means a lot. It helps me dedicate more time to creating quality content and keep this space going strong. And truly, thank you for just listening. That alone makes a huge difference. Anyway, so today I want to talk about giving back to the community. I feel like giving back has many benefits to both ourselves and to our community. I myself have benefited from my community, and I wanted to share why it's such an important topic and how you can do your part to make a difference. So, but first, what is community? Community is the people around you, your loved ones, your friends, your neighbors, teachers, coworkers, bosses, even the barista who greets you every morning. Everyone you interact with forms a web of connection and support, right? We're all connected some way. This person knows this person who knows this person who knows this person. And giving back doesn't have to be like this crazy grand or expensive thing. It can be as simple as showing up, being kind, or sharing your skills. So if you're a mechanic, you're giving tips about how to take care of your car. It doesn't even have to like be a service. Just a simple act of like, hey, make sure you check this and this, be knowledgeable. I recently went to go get my car fixed because I just bought a new car from a mechanic. It's not new. It's a used car, but I just got it from a mechanic. And the coolant cap was loose. So when I was driving one day, it just like popped off and all the coolant just spilled out. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize like soon enough my car turned off on me. Thankfully my car's okay. That's what he says. At least I hope so. But it turned off on me in the middle of driving, and yeah, so thankfully I was able to, drive it far enough to park it at like an empty parking lot. My friends came to the rescue, and my friend, who also knows a lot about cars, was helpful. I mean, nice enough to be able to help me out and tell me what was going on. And so I think it's very generous to be able to share your knowledge. And it doesn't you don't have to be some, expert at something. It could be simple things, that can really truly make a difference in people's lives. So when I was taking my car to the mechanic and showed him like, hey, is my car okay? He was making it a point to let me know what to look out for, what kind of checks I should be doing around my car, in and out the car, So I think that kind of information can really, like I said, make a difference in people's lives. And I think we can just share our skills in that way. It doesn't have to be this grand or expensive thing. I also, when I was in the process of starting school, of going into college, I was very anxious at first. I was always scared of looking dumb, scared of asking questions, and that really stopped me from going for a long time. And finally, built up the courage, and I was like, I'm gonna figure this out. I had a few friends that were able to answer some questions, not everything. I was really looking for someone to kind of hold my hand, but I just kind of stepped up and figured it out. But I didn't know that after at the end of that I was going to have people asking me questions, and it just felt really good to be able to share that information with people, because some people are just don't know and they're too afraid to ask, and it just feels really good to be able to help people better themselves and move up. So I was really thankful that I was able to share that kind of knowledge. Like, you can go here, ask this person. If you don't know, you can always go here, like share resources. When we understand the people around us and see how we're connected, it changes the way we live, work, and give. So if you're new to my channel, I recently had to start over, right? I just got a long-term relationship, moved back home, no job, no car. Like, it was really scary at first. It was nerve-wracking. And I had no idea what I was going to do. But thanks to my community, I was able to start finding direction. For a long time, I had the belief that I can just do life entirely on my own, that I didn't need anybody. And it's not that I was stubborn in the sense that I had like grudge or resentment towards everybody. I'm just like doing it on my own. It was more so that I just didn't like asking for help. That was where the problem lied. And it's like I also grew up with people who, or like my family, some family members who made it a point to like throw it in your face that they would help you, and I didn't like the feeling of that. So I just tried to make have the mentality like I don't need you. I should just do this for myself. But no, the matter of fact, the truth of the matter, the truth of the matter is that you do need people. You know, there's this one of my favorite documentaries ever. It's called Arnold, and it's on Arnold Schwarzenegger. So this man achieved so many great things and became a master of many things. And like for example, he was one of the top people at bodybuilding competitions. He was he was the top action actor of his time. And then he also became the governor of California. Like, how amazing is that? Yet he stayed humble. So I recommend it. It was such a great documentary. But one of the things he said that really stuck with me is that he didn't know why people called him self-made, because he said that so many people helped him along the way, and that's what ultimately helped him succeed. That really hit me. I realized that even when you think you're going alone, going at it alone, we're not. There's people around us that play a huge role in our journey. So I also don't think that means to use people though. You know, I think opportunities naturally present themselves when you make genuine connections with people. So finding a job after moving back was tough. I had some difficult experiences at past jobs, and I knew my worth and I didn't want to settle just to make ends meet. So I feel like I'm very diligent, responsible, I have integrity, you know, I'm reliable, I'm charismatic, and I feel like I excel at all of these jobs, like every job I've ever had. So like, but my resume doesn't look the best. You know, I don't have too many qualifications, and you know, my work experience is not nothing too crazy. So I feel like I tend to get overlooked. And I was applying everywhere, tweaking my resumes, and even writing cover letters, something I'd never done before. So I was like, maybe this is where I'm going wrong. But here's the thing, it wasn't just my hard work that opened doors. It was the people I knew, my community, who helped opportunities start appearing. Like my dad's friend owned his own company, so he offered me a job answering phone calls, setting appointments. The problem was it was like an hour and 20 minutes away. I didn't really want to spend like 3 hours of my day driving. A little much for me, but opportunity presented itself there. And then I had a coworker, an ex-coworker, who told me about applying at the school that she works at, and um, yeah, I was like, okay, so I gave it a shot. And then I have another, my brother's childhood friend said that he can talk to his manager about essentially scheduling an interview with me. And then the job I have now is through another ex-coworker, two ex-coworkers actually. And that's what ultimately helped me get this job. So it's just so amazing how like all these opportunities opened up. And I didn't even ask for them. These are just people who cared about me and was like willing to help me out. They knew my situation, was like, hey, you should come try this out. So when you show up with integrity, a hard working work ethic, and build genuine connections, your chances of moving up increase. There's actually research that backs this up. People are more likely to support you if they understand your story, your struggles. Everyone loves an underdog story. And this can include your boss. You know, I've heard that your boss is more likely to do things in their power to help you move up, like help root. They're rooting for you, you know, if they know your story and you're a hard worker. If you complain, stay negative, or refuse to build emotional connections, it's easy to stay stagnant. So you got to pair vulnerability with effort and hard work, and suddenly people want to see you succeed. Another thing I want to talk about is the ripple effect of kindness. Showing genuine care for others can set off a chain reaction you might never even see. So there was an article I was reading, and it was talking about how the feeling of gratitude can be contagious. She mentioned how someone paid for her order in a drive-through, and it turned out to be that she was the fourth person to be able to pay for the person behind her. So like it just motivated people to, keep the chain going. So research actually shows that receiving an act of kindness will inspire the receiver to pay it forward. When I serve coffee at the shop, I try to make a point to treat people like humans, not just transactions. That small kindness might brighten someone's day, and that they can carry that energy forward to someone else. So, also to my people working and helping others over the phone, I hear so many horror stories, and when I hear the tone of a public service worker helping me, like I was just recently talking to someone about getting health insurance, and just like her tone of voice, like I could already tell she was so emotionally exhausted, and it was early in the morning. Imagine starting your day like that. And I also feel for these people because not everybody has the privilege of going home and having like to relax. Some people have issues to go home to as well. So that's like your whole day, every day, like just being miserable. So I just try to be I try to be calm, understanding, and positive because not only will it help run their day go smoother, but it will also increase the chances of them actually wanting to help you. So I just like felt really bad when I was talking to her, and I was just trying to, uplift her mood. I was just like trying to be extra understanding, be like, yes, and thank you so much for your help. That can just truly make a difference. I think giving to your community can also strengthen your sense of community. The more you build connections, the more you start looking out for one another. And right now times are tough. So I feel like we really need community now more than ever. How many of us have a good relationship with our neighbors? I always like the idea of knowing your mailman's name or asking your server at the local diner, how your kids doing. I feel like on the news, there's so many unsettling things you hear about going around in the world. And I always wonder what would happen in like a natural disaster. It kind of scares me. Or maybe like an end of the world type of event, or just even a power outage. That's possible. So I feel like it's her, natural instinct to want to survive. So I think in the way people would do that is that they would try and go after each other's resources. I feel like it can get ugly. But if we actually genuinely knew each other, made genuine connections, the chances of that are less likely to happen. And I think we would be more likely to help each other in times of need. There's actually mental health benefits of giving back as well. Research has shown it can lower blood pressure, improve quality of sleep, and decrease feelings of loneliness. What do you know? It pays to pay it forward. Another benefit is lowering crime rates. When we look out for our neighbors, there are less opportunities for crime. And when we're helping each other progress, there are less people struggling to survive and becoming a productive member of society. So research suggests that individuals raised in communities with strong norms of helping and cooperation are less likely to engage in antisocial or criminal behavior. So you can also give in ways of your services. Maybe if you're a mechanic, a lawyer, a doctor, I'm not saying to give away your services for free, but sometimes there's just people out there who don't have the same support everyone else does, living paycheck to paycheck and just need to catch a break. Like, can you imagine living paycheck to paycheck and your car breaks down? Like, that's an expensive fix, and they need that to get to work. So, like, if I was in a position to give more, I would. Have you ever been in a situation where someone's helped you in a time of need? I have, and I appreciate it more than they'll ever know. Like one time, my dog got attacked by a bigger dog. He's like my baby. And I remember I went to the vet and I wanted to see how much it would cost him. And I started crying because I didn't know how I was going to afford it. And I had to make the tough decision to walk away. I didn't have no other choice. But when I was talking to the receptionist, she happened to talk to the vet, and I'm so thankful because he stopped me from leaving, and he said, "You know what? We can take money from the donations and we could put it towards helping your dog." And I'll never forget that. So I made it a goal to like whenever I'm in a place that I'll be able to donate and give to potentially help someone else with their baby, I will do that because I will never forget what he did for me, and I will appreciate it to the day I die. And that's exactly why giving back matters, because even small acts of kindness can change someone's life in ways you may never fully know. Sorry, I'm emotional. I think it also benefits our youth. Ever been caught by a parent's friend skipping school, but somehow your parents know? It sucks as a kid, but I appreciate the sentiment of keeping our kids on their toes. If you're being bad, you deserve it. We've got to keep them out of trouble. Our kids are the future, so I think it's important to invest in them. Maybe even by volunteering in after-school programs. So maybe I've inspired you, and now you want to know ways you can give back. So some ways that you can give back is, simple acts of kindness in daily life. Pay for someone's coffee or meal, offer a sincere compliment or word of encouragement, help neighbors with chores, errands, or yard work. Check in on elderly people or those who might be isolated. Volunteer to watch a friend's kid on short notice. You could volunteer at local shelters, like a food shelter, animal homeless shelter. It's funny. I actually volunteered at a food bank, I think it was, and I remember it was like 19. I was really young, and I remember there was a girl like around my age, and she came up to me and she asked, like, why are you here? I had went because my sister had to go through her because of her job, and she invited me to go, so I was like, yeah, I'll go. And this girl came up to me and she's like, why are you here? Are you in trouble? Like, is it court ordered? I was like, no. She's like, oh. She's like, did you come with the church? I was like, no. And then she kind of looked at me confused. She's like, you're here because you want to be? And I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, well, good for you. And then just like, wow, like it's crazy because I think that's expected, from people, is that people don't usually give not expecting something in return. So I think that's what surprised her. And I'm just like, man, like, I feel like we need to give more. We can join local cleanups at parks, clean up our streets. I feel like it feels more, our communities feel homier when it's clean. People are more likely to go out and enjoy our spaces, clean rivers or even the ocean. Maybe if you're like really smart, you had the privilege of being able to focus on academics, and some people aren't that fortunate. You can mentor or tutor students, especially in underserved areas. Offer pro bono services. Something as simple as even helping someone with a resume, legal or health advice. You can host a free workshop on a skill like gardening, cooking, wellness, and finance. Donate clothes, toys, or household items to local charities. Share your knowledge online to help others learn. I love this one. You know what? And there's already so much information. We live in such a privileged time, day and age, because you can look up recipes. You can look up how to. I look up how to fix my AC. It's expensive, so sometimes I'll look that up. And like things around the house, plumbing, just anything. Literally, there's so much information, free information online. That's what's so great. Um, you can check in on your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers, and offer emotional support. Help someone navigate local resources, food banks, health clinics, financial aid, and support our small businesses. This one I feel strongly about. It helps money stay within your community. It helps build more meaningful relationships. It helps make your community more unique. Build a sense of identity. This is who we are. And your small businesses are also more likely to give back to the community. So you could even plant a tree or start a community garden. This one I would love to do, but I don't know even how to go about starting that. I love gardening. So that's why giving back to our communities is so powerful. It's not just about the big gestures. It's about showing up, being kind, and sharing what you have, whether it's your time, your skills, or simply a smile. I've seen firsthand how even the smallest acts can ripple through people's lives, helping me when I was starting over and inspiring me to pay it forward every chance I get. And that's the magic of community. When we lift each other up, we all rise. So here's my challenge for you this week. Do one small thing for someone in your community. Maybe it's paying for a stranger's coffee, checking in on a neighbor, or sharing a skill you have. Notice how it feels to make someone's day just a little brighter. And trust me, the ripple doesn't stop there. I once read that when we focus on fighting the bad, we're actually giving it more energy. But when we focus on creating good, we invite more good into our lives. Thank you for spending time with me today. Thank you for talking with Tanya. Remember, giving back doesn't just change your community, it changes you. And if we all do our part, even in small ways, imagine the world we can create together. Until next time, keep showing up, keep being kind, and keep growing. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourself.